What if I told you that your brain is no longer yours? That the very same psychological tricks once used to sell war bonds and cigarettes are now embedded deep inside your phone? They've been rewired into code, designed not to inform you, but to own you. Every like, every notification, every short burst of excitement, that's not random. It's data extraction disguised as pleasure. And behind it all, the same financial machine that once engineered economic bubbles now feeds on something far more valuable than your money. Your attention. They call it engagement. But what it really is, it's enslavement. Because when you scroll, you're not just wasting time, you're working. You're generating behavioral data that is sold in milliseconds to algorithms betting on what you desire next. This is the new Wall Street, built on your impulses, monetized through dopamine and controlled by corporations that see your psychology as a brand new asset class. And here's the scary part. You didn't sign up for this, you were programmed for it. Before we go deeper, tell me in the comments where are you watching from right now. Because this system affects everyone, everywhere. And if you're ready to see how they turned your own biology into a business model, hit that subscribe button. You're about to learn the unfiltered truth. To understand how your brain became the new currency, we have to go way back to when money itself was completely redefined. In the early 20th century, power wasn't about information. It was about tangible resources, steel, oil, gold. Then came 1913. The birth of the Federal Reserve, a quiet coup that handed the power of money creation to private bankers. For the first time in modern history, currency could be printed from thin air. Sound familiar? It should, because a century later, the exact same thing happened again. But this time, instead of printing dollars, they started printing data. Let's jump to the 1950s. Behavioral psychology became the new frontier. A man named Edward Bernays, the so-called father of propaganda, realized something truly shocking. People don't buy products, they buy feelings. He was hired by powerful corporations to shape public opinion, not through logic, but through raw emotion. And just like that, the blueprint for mass manipulation was born. Now, fast forward to the 1980s. Wall Street discovered financial derivatives complex, abstract instruments that magically turned debt into tradable wealth. By 2008, that illusion of infinite value came crashing down, costing the world an estimated $10 trillion and destroying millions of lives. But Wall Street didn't stop, it just evolved. When the money machine broke, attention became the next hot commodity. Think about it. Facebook's like button wasn't just about connection. It was a global experiment in dopamine engineering. Google's search predictions weren't just about convenience. They were sophisticated psychological forecasting models. Every single click you made trained the machine to predict your next move, and every one of those predictions became a financial asset. Today, hedge funds literally trade on sentiment data scraped from your social media posts, your comments, even the tone of your voice. It's the same pattern, repeated over and over again. First, you turn something natural into a product. Then, you inflate its value through artificial systems. Finally, you extract profit from human vulnerability. The 2008 crash showed us how fragile fake wealth can be. The dopamine economy is showing us how fragile our free will can be. Because this time, the collateral isn't a house. It's your attention span. But here's where the story takes a much darker turn. This isn't just about social media addiction, it's about the very evolution of money itself. In 2011, a handful of Silicon Valley engineers met with data scientists from Wall Street. Their goal was audacious: to fuse behavioral prediction models with high-frequency financial trading systems. They gave it a name: neurometrics, the quantification of human impulses. Within years, megacorporations like Palantir, Google, and BlackRock began harvesting massive behavioral data sets, not just for ads, but for making multi-billion-dollar investment decisions. Your dopamine spikes, your little moments of outrage or joy, were being analyzed in real time to predict consumer trends, market volatility, and even election outcomes. They built trading algorithms that could move billions of dollars in seconds. It's not based on company earnings or breaking news, but on the collective emotional state of the internet. You think you're just scrolling through harmless videos, but those tiny micro-reactions are feeding a global prediction engine that decides where capital flows. The real market isn't stocks anymore, it's you. Tight. And the person who connected all these dots, the one who truly understood how to turn your psychology into profit was on a banker or a coder. It was someone you've probably never heard of, working from the shadows to build the architecture of this new reality. They saw that the ultimate resource wasn't gold or oil, but the human mind itself. And they figured out how to mine it on an industrial scale. This system is designed to keep you distracted, divided, and powerless. But knowledge is the first step toward reclaiming your mind. Let's pull back the curtain. In 2009, right after the financial crash, a new kind of market was quietly born, the attention derivatives market. It didn't have a ticker symbol or a trading floor. It existed in the shadows, inside data centers built by the same firms that once packaged risky mortgages into complex financial products. Only this time, they weren't packaging loans, they were packaging you. Every time you go online, you leave a trail. Every click, every like, every second you pause on a video, it's all collected. This is called behavioral surplus. Think of it as the digital exhaust from your life. This surplus is incredibly valuable. It's sold to data brokers who gather billions of these tiny signals to build what are called psychographic profiles. These aren't just about what you like. They're detailed blueprints of your emotional triggers, your anxieties, and your deepest desires. These profiles are then fed into predictive algorithms owned by massive corporations and hedge funds. Their goal isn't just to figure out what you'll buy. They want to know the exact moment you'll be most vulnerable to buying it. Imagine this. A hedge fund's algorithm detects a sudden spike in anxiety across social media during a major news event. Instantly, it buys defense stocks and shorts travel companies, all within milliseconds, long before the stock market as a whole can react. That's not intuition. That's behavioral arbitrage, trading based on our collective emotions, not on traditional economics. And this market is gigantic. In 2023 alone, the data brokerage industry was worth over $345 billion. For perspective, that's more than the entire global oil trade was worth in the 1970s. Every single day, over 4 million terabytes of our behavioral data are extracted. The consequences are real. In the year 2000, the average human attention span was 12 seconds. Today, it's just over 8 seconds. That's less than a goldfish. Think about how ads follow you around the internet. Staggering 92% of all digital ads are now purchased through real-time bidding systems. These systems auction off your attention to the highest bidder in less than 0.2 of a second. The system is designed to grow. By 2030, the amount of data generated by humans is projected to hit 175 zettabytes. That's a number so large it's hard to comprehend, but it's nearly double the volume of the entire global money supply. This is the new liquidity, not financial, but psychological. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and even this one, YouTube, are the pipelines for this new economy. Your nervous system has become the commodity. Every app on your phone is like a finely tuned casino, designed with the help of neuroscientists to dish out micro-rewards that keep your dopamine cycle unstable and unpredictable. Find yourself scrolling not because you consciously want to, but because you've been conditioned to need that next hit. These systems model your brain's reward loop with the same cold precision that banks once used to model mortgage default risk. The more predictable your behavior becomes, the higher your value as a digital asset. They have successfully turned your predictability into their profitability. The formula is simple. A dopamine spike leads to engagement. Engagement generates data. Data improves predictive accuracy. And predictive accuracy gives them a trading advantage. This is the new economy. Welcome to the dopamine economy. It's no longer about manufacturing products. It's about manufacturing desire. Companies are no longer competing for your money. They are in a ruthless war for your mind share, for your attention. And just like the subprime mortgage crisis of 2008, this system is built on over-leverage. But this time, the leverage isn't financial. It's cognitive. Billions of human hours are being borrowed from our future to feed a machine that profits today. And when this system inevitably crashes, when attention fatigue, mass depression, societal disengagement reach their peak, the damage won't just be financial, it will be profoundly psychological. Because here's the twist that almost no one is ready for. Governments and central banks are already preparing for this. How? By developing central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. This is programmable money that can and will eventually be integrated with these behavioral data streams. If your dopamine patterns can predict what you'll buy, and a digital currency can track every cent you spend, what happens when those two systems merge? You get a perfect closed loop of control. Imagine your spending limits automatically adjusting based on your digital mood. Imagine being financially rewarded for positive online engagement and restricted for expressing undesirable sentiment. This isn't some dystopian sci-fi plot. Pilot programs testing these very concepts are already underway in parts of Asia and Europe. The future financial system isn't being built on gold or dollars. It's being built on behavioral compliance. And once dopamine becomes the lever of control, that control becomes invisible. Because when pleasure is the mechanism of coercion, consent becomes irrelevant. You'll never see the chains when you've been conditioned to enjoy wearing them. So where does this all end? In the past, empires were built by enslaving bodies through labor. Today, empires are being built by enslaving minds through dopamine. The global economy no longer runs on oil or debt. It runs on your distraction. Every second of attention you give away is a data point that gets mind-modeled and monetized by invisible systems you never agreed to join. And when the next great collapse comes, it won't be about banks failing, it will be about people breaking. The cracks in the global attention infrastructure are already showing. Widespread burnout, rising anxiety, a fragmented sense of reality. Yet, instead of pumping the brakes, the system is doubling down, pushing more content, or dopamine, and demanding more control. We are all living on borrowed focus. Just like borrowed money, the bill always comes due. It always ends in a crisis. The real question isn't if this system will collapse. It's when your mind will finally stop being able to sustain it. So, consider this your wake-up call. Every single time you choose conscious awareness over mindless impulse, you reclaim a piece of your ownership. Every time you pause for just a second before you click, you break the algorithm's prediction loop. In this new world, the most powerful act of rebellion left is to simply pay attention. Stay awake. I'm curious to see how far this message can travel. Comment with where you're watching from. Share this video with someone you think is still asleep in the dopamine matrix. And if you're ready to continue uncovering how power really works and how perception is manipulated, make sure you subscribe. Because in the next episode, we're going to explore a terrifying question. Will the next economic crash start not in the banks, but inside your brain? Thanks for watching.